Here we are in Salford Quays for the second section of our Manchester Ship Canal Journey. First bit was on Pomona Docks, which is just behind me there. This is the Manchester Ship Canal, connects on to the Pomona Docks. And actually, interesting fact, I don't know if I can get it to show you, but I don't know if you can see in the background, there's a tram. They're actually testing the new Trafford Centre tram line. Interesting fact for you. Now, in this section, we're going to go and have a look at Salford Quays, which was, in the Manchester docks, docks 6 to 9. It's completely changed now. It's been redeveloped into residential apartments and houses, and also the BBC and ITV and a load of other companies have moved in. It's mostly big shiny offices now. So we're going to start here, which is just by the Trafford Road swing bridge. I'm going to show you a little bit more of that in a second, because it's really interesting. But we're going to work our way up round all the docks, and hopefully end up by Mode Wheel Locks, which was the final lock on the Manchester Ship Canal before the docks. Designed by John Butler & Co., the Trafford Swing Road Bridge was built in 1892, spanning the entire Manchester Ship Canal, and would swing open, allowing ocean-going cargo ships to travel inland from Liverpool to the Manchester Docks and Pomona Docks. It's the largest and heaviest of the Ship Canal swing bridges, weighing 1,800 tonnes. In 1998, the Trafford Road swing bridge was refurbished and fixed in place as part of a scheme to widen the road to a dual carriageway, with a new road bridge built alongside. walking round from the Trafford Road swing bridge into what used to be Dock 6. This part is now Clippers Quay, and the other part is Merchants Quay. And it's all apartments now and hotels and stuff like that. But I've got some quite interesting old aerial shots of what it used to look like. Dock 6. Tell you what, the thing that sort of strikes me as I'm walking around here is that I sort of expected, coming into Salford Quays, to feel a little bit of a sense of disappointment, because I really like this kind of abandoned, kind of almost glimpse into the past of Pomona. But actually, the way this has been redeveloped, it's sort of been redeveloped with a glimpse into the past in mind. So there are lots of little clues as to what the place used to be and it used to do. But I'm actually quite excited to be looking around it and to be seeing all the little hints of what used to be. I'm quite excited to see the rest of it. I do know that Dock 7 is pretty much completely gone. It's just a few little basins that are there now. But so far, so good. And something for Rosemary, you know who you are. Very nice view of Man United. St Francis Bank, and it leads through to Exchange Quay. And I think this bit as well is filled with clean water, because you can see a little thing in the middle there that's pumping out water. I do know that they do water sports right down the end there. I imagine they probably do it all the way through, but there's like a little net on a pole, and you see them on their kayaks trying to get a ball in the net. Sports fans, comment down below what that is. Water polo? No idea. You can actually see the bottom. That's kind of mad. I don't know whether the camera's really picking this up, but the water is so clear. And you can literally see what's down the bottom. This here is like two sort of pipes. This one's called St Louis Basin. I didn't realise this, but they've all got different names. And actually, when you look at it on a map, they look really tiny, but they're huge. And they're all being fed from the middle by these little water things, pipes. But I gather that's cleaned water so that people can come here and do water sports without having to go through the pollution and the horribleness of the ship canal. last bit of Dock 7 is St Peter Basin, and this is where they've got the poles with nets on that I was telling you about. Please tell me what that is called. I want to call it netball, but it's obviously not. Net pond ball. Anyway. Now just up ahead is the Chandler's Canal, which is one of the new canals that they've put in since redeveloping the area to link the different docks together. So you can just fly, if you're on a boat you can fly through, in and out, whatever you want to do, because I believe they use all three of these next few docks now for water sports, especially the next one. And here we are where the Chandler's Canal opens out onto what used to be Dock 8 and is now the Ontario Basin. I can tell you for definite that there is a lot of water sports that goes on here because there's a zip line straight above me and there's loads of like ramps and things down there. And every day when I'm on the tram coming home from work, I always see people swimming around this basin, which to me is absolute madness. But I can imagine it's quite fun actually. I'll probably try it once and then never again. I feel like that's probably what's going to happen. Been walking out of Dock 8 and I was walking round to where this bridge is in Key West and stuff like that at Media City, and I just found in the floor all these little discs that got a little poem on them, and it goes all the way up what is, I gather, the Centenary Walk, which was put down 100 years after the docks opened. And it's a poem by a poet called Sue Andy and local people, it says. It was put down in May 1994. Really nice. It was quite a sweet little moment as I was walking along reading it and filming it, because there's people behind me who've probably never seen it before who were stopping to read it. It's quite sweet. So here we are in Dock 9. This one used to have a grain elevator at the end, which I think I might have found a picture of. Dock 9 is the largest of all of the docks, and it was the last one to be constructed. And it used to be the home of the Manchester Liners container service to Montreal, Quebec. Today the upper reaches of this bit have been cut off from fresh water, and they're fed with the same clean water that's put into docks 7 and 8. And actually you can only access it from dock 8 because it's cut off at the top, which I'll show you in a minute. This dock was actually built on the former site of the Manchester racecourse. As far as interesting features that still are intact and remain today, there's quite a nice looking swing bridge that's still in situ. So that was a really interesting look around Salford Quays, and it's actually really surprised me kind of how much I enjoyed it. I was expecting, because it had been fully developed and kind of finished off, that I was going to be a bit like, oh, this is boring. But actually there's still loads of clues and hints as to the history of the area and what it used to be and what it used to do. So we've ended now here at Modewheel Locks, which, if you're setting off from the Manchester docks, was the first lock that you'd come to on the canal. I'm going to head towards the end and just kind of see how far we get. The next section that we're going to be covering is kind of my neck of the woods, which is like Barton Docks area. I don't know much about it, so I'm going to look into it. Watch out for the next video. Do subscribe, it really, really helps. And like the video and comment if you've got something to add. And thank you ever so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. That's probably for the best right now, because they'll probably be run down by this point. And there's a man looking directly at me with a pair of binoculars, and it's only about 15 feet in front of me. Strange. So this bit is known as St. Francis Bank. St. Francis's Bank? St. Francis Bank. It used to be Dock 8. I'm trying to get some comparison shots for you as well. Here, near the city centre of Manchester, the property developers take over the old wasteland to build such splendorous delights as the car park. It's grey and brown rubble, a reminder of the industrial past of this area. I mean, yeah, it's a car park, isn't it?